No, not really. So there's a few X's in this story. A couple years ago, I broke up with my girlfriend, who I was living with at the time. So that's X number one. And of course, the apartment we were in just sort of didn't quite work as for either of us to live in. So we had a conversation with our landlord and said, hey, who'd been totally cool with us up till this point, had been like, hey, it's cool, don't worry, like, just tell me when you're gonna leave and we'll let you know. And everything's, it'll be good. Like, don't worry about paying, like, don't worry about the lease, don't worry about whatever. And so we agreed to a date, and then that happened. And then, so then my girlfriend moved out of the apartment, and I was living there by myself. And I had gotten a call from my father telling me that he was in the hospital, and he lives in New York. So of course I run away to New York, and completely forgetting about the note that my landlord had said that was like, please move the tire under your porch, and because that's what happens when there's emergencies. And so I went to go visit my dad, and I left my rent check in the little mailbox that was in the basement, but I didn't put it in an envelope, which I usually do. And so I get there, at my dad's, and I'm in the hospital, and now this is where things get just really dramatic all of a sudden, because my dad's in the hospital, having had a heart attack, and I am by his bedside, and all of a sudden, and I get an email from my landlord, and just take a moment, because I want you to understand just take in what this email said. First of all, it was titled "Broken Promises," capital B, capital P, like it was a fucking term paper or a dissertation. And I was like, okay, this is weird. Second of all, I get the email at 3:45 in the morning on a Friday, which to me says Bender immediately. And so the email literally says, and I open the email, and it says, Dan, I have had 2 experiences of your failed, broken promises to me, and I am wondering if this is some kind of passive-aggressive way to pay back us palefaces for broken treaties to the Navajo Nation. And I'm like, and literally my mouth is like, what? I drop whatever I'm holding, and I was like, holy shit! And I go and I call my ex-girlfriend, and I'm like, yo, this is the email. What the fuck? And she's like, yo, what the fuck? And I'm like, exactly. She's like, dude, I'm on your side on this. Awesome. So I got an email, a response immediately that says this is not cool at all. So I'm trying to type, figure out the legalese that would, the most proper email that's basically saying, what the fuck, bitch? That is not cool. And so I send that email, and he and then 2 days later, I get an email back that's I guess his form of an apology, which is basically saying, yo, you got offended. Yeah, that wasn't really my fault. I was trying to get your attention. If you were black, I'd be like, fuck slavery. And if I had talked about your Judaism, I would have been like, was that because of the Holocaust? And I was like, you just made that better somehow? Wait, no, what? And at that point, I was like, man, I'm out. I was just bouncing from that apartment as soon as possible. I've rented a fucking truck, moved all my shit out to my mom's basement, and I was like, I'm going to sleep on a couch. That's going to be dope. And then he's like, oh, yeah, that's cool. I'm going to sue you guys for breaking the lease. And I was like, what? Why would you write those in an email? What year is this? Why do you write fucking emails? You didn't think I saved that shit? And Which is basically what I told the court when I went in. I was just like, he was like, I would like $3,500. And I was like, yo, I saved this shit. And he was like, okay, that's cool.